Lil Jerome's story has largely gone unnoticed, but recent allegations against Diddy involving the exploitation of young male artists, including Justin Bieber, have reignited interest in his case. Diddy is facing a series of lawsuits, and attorney Tony Buzbee has revealed that the youngest accuser is just 9 years old. This has led to speculation online about whether Lil Jerome might be among the victims, particularly since he signed a contract with Diddy at the age of 9. The new lawsuits allege crimes spanning from 1991 to 2024, which raises questions about Jerome's potential involvement. Regardless of the ongoing speculation, what truly needs to be highlighted are the devastating details of Lil Jerome's life. According to Mark Curry, the impact of Diddy's actions on Jerome was so severe that it led him to a breaking point. Jerome himself has spoken about experiencing a nervous breakdown as a result of the trauma he endured. At just 14 years old, Lil Jerome's story is deeply disturbing but important to share. Now ready to tell his side, he seeks justice against Diddy for the impact on his life. Born Stanley Jerome Childers in Akron, Ohio, Jerome showed a passion for singing early on, performing with his sister's band. They recorded demos with a local musician connected to Diddy's early career at Uptown Records. This musician passed along their demos, which eventually caught Diddy's attention. Impressed by a videotape of Jerome performing, Diddy arranged for him and his family to fly to New York. After auditioning for Diddy, Jerome was signed on the spot. There has been some confusion about his age at signing, with some sources claiming he was 11 or 12, but Jerome clarified in a Bad Boy blog interview that he was actually around 9.5. Following his signing, Jerome's father moved the family to New York, enrolling him in a school for children in showbiz and even quitting his job to manage Jerome's career. However, reports suggest that his father wasn't as hands-on as expected, often leaving Jerome alone with Diddy in the studio, something that would later raise alarms. Jerome made his debut on the 1998 compilation album Nothing But the Hotness and collaborated with major artists like Kelly Price, Mario Winans, Rodney Darkchild Jerkins, Faith Evans, and Heavy D. He even contributed a cover of Stevie Wonder's Never Dream You'd Leave in Summer for the soundtrack of the cult film Belly. In 1998, Jerome released the single Too Old For Me featuring Diddy, which was included in the Bad Boy Greatest Hits Volume 1 compilation. Diddy also appeared in the music video, giving Jerome dating advice, a moment that has come under scrutiny in light of recent allegations. The implications of a young boy receiving such advice from an adult are being closely examined as the narrative unfolds. The woman in the Too Old For Me video is unsettling, but it pales in comparison to the serious allegations surrounding Diddy and what he may have done to Jerome behind the scenes. Before delving into those allegations, it's crucial to highlight that Jerome experienced a nervous breakdown shortly before leaving Bad Boy at just 13 years old. In the same interview with Bad Boy blog, when asked about the reasons for his sudden departure from the label, Jerome opened up about the overwhelming pressures and troubling experiences he faced during his time with Diddy. Well,
see, when I was your age, how old are you?
11.
Yeah, when I was 11, I used to have a crush on this girl that was 16, but I never got up enough nerve to say nothing to her. So she never even knew I liked her. To this day, I still think about it. So, I don't think you should pass up the opportunity. You should holler. Let me know how you feel. Do your thing. I'll be right here.
It was just a mixture of growing pains and the pressure of the music business. I had a nervous breakdown, and it was in Puffy's best interest to not keep the project, according to Jerome. He also started experiencing issues with his voice during puberty, and he was eventually diagnosed with reflux disease. But Lil Jerome said the crazy thing was that the time when I started going through puberty, and then my voice started acting up, I didn't have a normal voice change. Once my voice started to change, it didn't change normally. I was going through reflux disease also, so there would come times where I would try to hit notes and nothing would come out, according to Lil Jerome. This was driving the label crazy because they didn't know what was going on at that time. We first thought it was just the voice change, but we realized it wasn't the voice change. Lil Jerome said, I had actually gone through the voice change already. They thought it was allergies, and then after they realized it wasn't, they finally realized it was reflux disease. Lil Jerome also hinted at the emotional turmoil he began to experience during this time. He described how difficult it was to cope with changes in his voice and the emotional fluctuations that come with puberty. Sometimes when you go through puberty, your emotions get out of whack, he said. As he faced these personal changes, the demands of the music industry intensified, especially with the imminent release of his album. The back-to-back schedules of studio sessions and photo shoots added immense pressure, leading to his eventual breakdown. The story takes a deeper turn in an article titled Akron Wonder, originally published on January 14, 1999, by Cleveland Scene. The piece describes how Diddy groomed Jerome to be the cuddliest mascot of hip-hop. It details how, after flying Jerome and his family to New York, Diddy positioned him in the spotlight, emphasizing a certain image that would ultimately contribute to the pressures Jerome faced. This portrayal raises further questions about the nature of their relationship and the impact it had on a young artist navigating a challenging environment.